God. Hold my purse, sir. We got a million things going on. All right, Mr. Skeleton, here we go, sir. Hey everyone, it is another day Halloween decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. Hold on, sir. Railroad tracks. We're splashing water everywhere. It's another day. Another day. We are currently under an extreme heat advisory. And naturally, I decide to wear my hair down for the occasion. I always wear my hair down on the freaking hottest days. I don't know what it is. It's like when I let my hair down, it alerts Mother Nature to scorch me. So basically, longest story longer, it's another day sweating our literal labias off again, Mr. Skeleton. Even though I know you don't have any, Mr. Skeleton. I'm just teasing, sir. Anyways, we are cruising. Where are we going today? I want to go to a bunch of places. First, you know, we're going to hit HomeGoods. I'm looking for some goods, some spooky goods, and we're going to see if they got them. Then we're going to cruise over. So the fancy HomeGoods is not too far from World Market, and I've been seeing that World Market started getting their Halloween out, which is wild. Usually World Market is one of the last places to get Halloween every year. It's usually September or like Labor Day weekend or after Labor Day weekend kind of time. So we're going to go check it out. Apparently they're getting Halloween out. Then we're going to cruise over. What else are we going to do? I don't know what other stores are out there. Maybe if there's another store out there that we want to check out, we'll stop by. And then I wanted to work my way back and I wanted to hit Burlington, Kirkland's. There's like a little trio right here. Burlington, Kirkland's, and Target. I wanted to see if Target had any of their Halloween clothes out yet. Because I know they're not getting any of their Halloween decor for a while. Anyways, I don't know why I'm going this way. What am I doing? Does anybody know? Any clue at all? I don't know. Should we just run into Ross really quick? What time does Ross open? Scratch that, everybody. We're starting over. We're going to go to Ross, Kirkland's, Burlington, Target. Then we're going to cruise out to the fancy HomeGoods and World Market. That's the plan. I've got 2 batteries for today. All right, never mind, everybody. Change of plans again. Ross isn't even open yet. So we're going to HomeGoods. No. I don't know. Is Kirkland's open? What's open right now? That is the question. And luckily, I need to get some fruit for Lucian today at some point. Probably at, I don't know where we're going to go. But I need to get some fruit eventually. Luckily, that's all I need. I don't have to think about dinner, ingredients, forgetting ingredients, my list, anything like that. Because we've still been doing our Factor for dinners. And we love Factor so much. It saves me so much time, so much brain power. I don't even have to think about dinner. It's already done. Like, it's checked off my list for the day, every single day. I love everything about it. And this video is actually sponsored by Factor. And if you haven't heard me talk about how much I love Factor, we seriously love it so much. We do Factor within the sponsorship, so we do get sent a box for the sponsorship. And then we, with our own doll hairs, we do Factor every single week. It has been such a lifesaver. That's why I love being introduced to brands like this, because I waste way less food now, because I used to be like, what are we having for dinner? And I get overly ambitious and then I would not have the energy to cook it. Where with Factor, if you've never heard of Factor before, Factor delivers fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door. They're nutritious and delicious. They take 2 minutes. You pop them in the microwave and they're ready to eat. They're so easy. They taste amazing. And one of the things we love so much about Factor is they have so many different meals to choose from. They have a weekly menu of 35 options, including Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, and Vegan and Veggie. And they change them up every single week, so we never get tired of the same meals every single day, which is something that I'm guilty of when I cook, as I tend to cook the same things every day. You can also discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. And I know I jab my jaws on and on and on about Factor, and I cannot say enough good things about them, but truly Factor has come through in so many different phases of life. When my babies were itty bitty, or just busy times of year, the holiday seasons, or when I'm just needing a little bit of a break and just don't feel like making meals all week. Anyways, if you want to give Factor a try, you can head to factor75.com and use code 50Libra to get 50% off your first box, plus free shipping. Once again, that's code 50 Libra for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Definitely check out Factor. Anyways, we're here at this trifecta. We've got Kirkland's, Burlington, Target. It's like a full-blown, what do you call those things? Those pub crawls? It's like a pub crawl, but it's a full-blown Halloween store crawl is what we're doing right now. Oh my God, it's so freaking hot out. Okay, here's Burlington. Kirkland's is over here. Mr. Skeleton. Oh God. Ow, 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 ow. Burning my hand off, burning my hand off. My car mount melted off the window. That's how freaking hot it is. It says 92, which means it feels like 192 with the humidity. Oh, it's bad. And it hasn't even, it's not even the heat of the day. It is only noon right now. We spent 3,000 years in both, all three of those stores. It was a whole Halloween extravaganza. We spent like 3,000 years in every single one of those stores because every single store had some sort of Halloween. So let's start with Kirkland's. So Kirkland's had, what did they have? They had a full Halloween display. And you know I love a good spooky display. Only thing they didn't have that I look forward to every year, so we're going to have to go back. They did not have their Halloween table setting with the cute little plates and all that kind of stuff. I love their spooky table setting situations every year. So we'll have to go take a little gander another day. Anyways, so then what do we see? We saw, where do we start? All right, where do we start? Okay, they had these spooky little Halloween pieces that were ceramic. It was a jack-o'-lantern with a witch hat and a ghost with a witch hat, little lantern things. And then they had another set that was next to it, but it wasn't like a shiny ceramic light up situation. I think it was just like a mummy guy, or was it a ghost? It was another little set there. And they had a couple of water globes. They had one that was a classic looking water globe, but it was plastic instead of glass. And then it had this spider web design around it and these multicolored lights and this glitter that kind of comes up. And then they had, it was a glitter globe with some witches around a cauldron. That was really cute. And then they had these pictures. One had a cat, I think it was wearing a witch hat. And then the other one was a ghost. And they had these intricate frames around them that were really pretty. And then there was another wall decor piece that had The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe and some spooky houses around it and stuff. It did have glitter, I will put that out there. You couldn't really see the glitter on camera, but it had glitter. And then speaking of glitter, they had some spiders in different sizes. I think they were candle holders that had glitter. They had, oh, the ghost blow mold with the witch hat is back this year. We saw that last year. It was a very popular item. It is back this year. I think it was there with a little, was it a doormat or rug of some sort that was next to it. And then they had some pillows, lots of spooky pillows. I feel like Kirkland's always has a good spooky pillow selection every single year. They had one that said stay spooky and bones. They had one that said something about flying lessons. They had another one that had, oh, what was it? Did it have dogs on it? Did I see dogs? And then they had one that said I put a spell on you. And just some various spooky pillows. Oh, and then they had a Frankenstein one. I think a couple of different mummy ones, or maybe it was the same one I saw twice. Not sure. Can't confirm. A couple of ghost pillows that had this checker kind of texture on it. And one was white, one was lavender. And then they had a spider pillow, a big spider pillow, and a spider web pillow that was orange and black. What else did they have? A bunch of pillows in this area. They always have a bunch of pillows. And then they had pillows with ghosties all over them. They had a blanket, a matching blanket with ghosties all over it. They had some dogs in costumes, or just Halloween dogs. And holding little, some of them were holding little jack-o'-lantern things. And then they had some outdoor rugs that said various things. I think one had a cauldron and said something about a spell or something about I'm going to get you my pretties or come in my pretties, something like that. And then they had some other ghosty doormats. Some were cutesy. Some were, actually I think a couple of them were cutesy. And then one's the one we see every year that says Happy Haunting on it with just some sheet ghosts on it. And then they also had a full-blown cutesy Halloween section that had more of the pink stuff. And they had some stacked books that were pink. and a ghosty with some pink things. I don't know what it was holding, like a phone or like a pink, I don't know, maybe it was an ice cream cup. It was pink something. And they had like a little ceramic ghosty guy and some different pillows, once again in this area that went with that color scheme. So pinks, lavenders, cutesy Halloween. They're definitely hopping on that trend. And then yeah, just some cutesy items in this area, pinks and lavenders and those types of things. And then what else did they have? Oh, they had some little dangly leg guys. I think they had a mummy, and was it a ghost? It was a mummy and a ghost. And some skeleton hand candle holders. And oh, they had a witch hat, a metal witch hat with some cutouts. And they had some wooden Halloween pieces that they have every year that look more rustic looking. Some jack-o'-lanterns with some cutouts. And they're kind of stand-up guys. And some metal pieces in here. And I don't think the whole display was out, because usually they have a bigger display than this, and it wasn't in the front, it was kind of to the side. So I think they'll have their whole, so I don't think this is their whole grand finale display. What else did they have in this area that was really cute? Oh, they had some really cute candles. Oh my gosh, their candles were so good. They had these candles that were in these glass jars, and then inside the glass jars they had these wax, one was a skull, one was a bat. What was the other one? Was it a heart or something? Brain? I can't remember what it was, but it was something else in this. Maybe I'm getting too graphic and it wasn't that serious. But they were really, really nice looking candles. And then they had some ceramic looking candles too that had different characters as the holders that were filled with wax. And then they had some other candles that had prints on the outside that had little ghosties and stuff like that, and just some basic orange and black candles. They also had some candy corn decor. And what else am I missing? Am I missing anything? I'm not sure, probably. But lots of ghosties, Frankenstein things, mummies. All the classic Halloween crew was here at Kirkland's. They also had this amazing wall decor piece that was huge. And as soon as I went to go get a visual of it, and I was actually going to buy it, somebody snatched it up and put it behind the counter. So I didn't even get a visual of it. I will look for it online and put the visual here. It was so much cooler in person, and it was huge. And apparently it lights up. The online photo does not do this piece justice. That's why I wish I could have gotten it on camera, because it's so good in person. It was the only one they had. Anything else I'm missing at Kirkland's, I will show here. They had a lot of good pieces, a lot of classic Halloween at Kirkland's, which I really liked. They did have some trendy items, so like some pink items, but it was just a small little section. I feel like the majority of Kirkland's was very in-your-face Halloween, which I appreciated, because we're not seeing a whole lot of that this year so far. It's still early in the season. We've been seeing a lot of Pastel-Halloween, Summerween. Oh God, not the road work again. No. We're just sitting here sweating, everybody. Anyways, what else did we see? We saw, let's pump up the jam here. Oh, we went to Burlington. We saw some Halloween. They had a little area, not a whole lot, mainly Day of the Dead skeleton kind of pieces. And then they had a skeleton piece that was kind of contemplating his life or giving attitude. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but he was skeleton. And then they had some skulls. One had a bow and one had some floral, I believe, on his head. And then was there another skull too? And then a couple of jack-o'-lantern pieces. One was a resin piece, and one kind of like a fuzzy, I don't remember what the other one was. Or were they pillows or plushies? I know they had a couple of plushy jack-o'-lantern pieces as well. One had a cat popping out. The other one had a teddy bear coming out. And then anything else I'm missing in this little area I'll show, but it was mainly skeleton pieces. And oh, a rug that said "in my spooky era," I think it said on it. And then they also had a couple of bathroom pieces. They had a Halloween Care Bear soap dispenser and a Halloween soap dispenser set with like little coasters that it came in. And I've been seeing a lot of Halloween Care Bears this year. Apparently that's a thing this year. And then we saw some spooky blankets, all sorts of spooky blankets. All right, everyone, my camera is burning up on the dash, so naturally it overheated. So we had a snack. Now we're sitting here in the parking lot of the fancy HomeGoods. But I wanted to finish really quickly. I think we left off at, what were we talking about? Oh, the spooky blankets at Burlington. So anyways, there was this blanket. It was so cute. Had these little vampires in coffins floating around. Like one of them had you know, the reflector that where you go out in the sun with a reflector. You know, if you watch There's Something About Mary and you know Magda, then you know Magda. He was doing the Magda. Anyways, so they had that little vampire blanket. They also had a snail Halloween blanket. I don't know if this is Summerween or not, but it had little snails with eyeballs and various Halloween things on it. It was very interesting. I wasn't mad at it, actually. I've never seen anything like it. So anyways, now we brought the flamingos in. Now we're bringing the snails into Halloween. Not even mad at it. They had some ghosty blankets. I think there was like a Summerween looking ghosty blanket. And then just various spooky ghosty blankets that weren't Summerween. And I think they had a couple of different ghosty ones. Did they have dogs in costumes? Oh no, dinosaurs in costumes. That's what they were. They had dinos in costumes. Oh, and they had the in-your-face Halloween one I saw. Was it last year or a couple years ago that I really liked? That had all the different colors. And it was very in-your-face Halloween. Very cute. They had that back this year. And yeah, just some various Halloween blankets. Their prices on their blankets are always really good. They're anywhere from $9.99 to I think $14.99. Probably depends on the size. Anyways, that is what we saw at Burlington. Oh, I forgot at Kirkland's. I cannot forget this. They had clothing. I have never seen Halloween clothing at Kirkland's, but they did not disappoint. They had these poncho looking things that they had a checkered one, a black and white checkered one. And then they had one, was it pink or was it orange? I can't remember. I was just too excited about the black and white checkered one. Then they had pajamas, everybody. This whole spooky little landscape. They were so cute. And they were monochromatic black and gray and a little bit of white accent. Oh, they were so good. And then they had a pink set with ghosties, I think, or candy corns, or I don't know. It was like a pink Halloween. I blocked it once again from my memory, but so good. I think that's all for Kirkland's and Burlington. Anything else I'm forgetting, I'll show here though. So then we cruised over to Target, which is right next door to Burlington. I was not expecting any decor. Didn't see any decor. But we did see some clothes. In the women's section, they had this Dracula t-shirt. And it was in this material that was this really soft, really light, almost like a broken in vintage t-shirt. It had Dracula on the front. Like it was almost like not a TV poster, a movie poster. And then what was the other t-shirt? They had Care Bears. And it had like a little front piece and a whole back piece. They had, what was the other one? Dang. Oh, a little devil guy that said something. Your worst chaos. No, it's chaos. Chaotic. Is that what it said? I don't know. Anyways, they also had, I think there was another one. They also had a sweatshirt, a Halloween Mickey sweatshirt that had Mickey on the front. Then they had also a sleeve piece on this one and a whole back piece. That was all the spooky. It had the characters and then the shadows of the characters were all spooky and scary. So they had that. Then over in the men's section, they had a bunch of spooky shirts. They had a Snoopy shirt that had a little front piece and a back piece. They had a Stranger Things long sleeve shirt. They had, what was the other one? Oh, this Cats. It almost looks like one of those shirts, you know, with the wolves on it. If you know the wolf shirt, like the tie-dye or like acid wash wolf shirts. If you know, you know. Kind of looks like that, but it had cats. And then they had, they had a Casper shirt that was really cute. It had a whole big back on that one. And then they had a Friday the 13th Camp Crystal Lake sweatshirt in the classic 90s colors. That teal color and the purple and teal together. If you were a kid / teen / adult in the 90s, then you know this color scheme. It was like basically the Charlotte Hornets color scheme. That was like the entire color scheme of the 90s, I feel like. That teal and purple color. So they had that. They also had, what else did they have? Was there another sweatshirt in here? I don't know. I'll just continue to show all the shirts in here because they had a bunch of Halloween shirts and spooky shirts and horror shirts in here. And then, I know what was in the women's section. They also had a Scream shirt with Ghostface and Bubblegum. It was like a pink and Scream shirt combo. And then they had some kids stuff. Oh, you guys, I almost cried right there in the middle of Target. It just hit me. It was like a wave came over me and I was just deeply sad right there in the middle of the freaking kids section at Target, everybody. It just hit me that this is my last year shopping for a baby. They had some girl, toddler, cat and jack stuff out. They didn't have the boy, toddler, cat and jack stuff out yet. But the girl stuff is really cute. They had the cutest dress. Oh my gosh. It's got all these little ghosties and this little, I don't know what you want to call it, tulle? Is that what it is? Where it's kind of like tutu looking, or like, I don't know how to describe it. It's got little ghosts all over it. Then they also had some of the softer cotton pieces that were dresses. One had jack-o'-lanterns all over it. The other one was lavender with little black cats all over it and witch hats, I think. And then the other one, what did it have? Like little animals. They also had a jack-o'-lantern tutu looking dress, a couple of sweatshirts. One I think was lavender with a jack-o'-lantern face. Yeah, they had some Halloween toddler stuff. And then they also had some, oh, they did have some pajamas. They had a Mickey pajama set that was really cute. And then they had a Bluey pajama set that was Halloween Bluey. And then they also had a Miss Rachel Halloween set that was super cute. One side had Miss Rachel and like a whole, like, I think there was like a little ghost. Then the other side had orange and white checkers. And then they, in the baby section, they had their Cat and Jack, some of it out. Some of their Cat and Jack baby Halloween line. And they had the cutest stuff. Oh my gosh. They had the cutest little green skull and crossbones set. It was green with different, this could be all year round. This is what I love. I love the all year round stuff. They had the Milk Monster set back, but it was a little different this year. It had more of this like little small checkered pants. Instead of, I think they had stripes the other years. And they had one that was a black sweatshirt with a ghostie, and then the pants had ghosties all over it. That was so cute, but they didn't have Lachlan's size. And then, what else did they have? Was it a sweatshirt with a little tutu skirt thing at the bottom? And then they also had some Carter's Halloween stuff. They had some onesies that said My First Halloween with ghosties. And then the other, I think there was another onesie that came with it that had pumpkins. They had one that had little ghosties. And they had another one that had the little tutu skirt that came with the little onesie with the little tutu skirt thing on the pants. And then there was another one. These were all Carter sets. Did I already say that? There was another one that said the cutest pumpkin, or the newest pumpkin in the patch, or the cutest pumpkin in the patch, that had pumpkins all over it, and then a pumpkin, a little stitched pumpkin on the butt. And they also had the little pumpkin jack-o'-lantern booties with the matching hat. They had some little socks and a bib that said My First Halloween. And then and then they had a sleeper. Oh, they didn't have Lachlan's size. I'm so sad. But they had a sleeper that was orange with white stripes, and then it had these little stitched, like a little Frankenstein and like a little ghosty guy, a little jack-o'-lantern guy, I think maybe, I don't know. Man, their stuff was cute. Also at Burlington, I saw a couple kids' outfits, some sweatshirt and sweatpants sets. One of them was so cute. It almost looked like the ones from Gymboree. Had the stitched kind of Halloween look on it. And then it had a little area that flipped up and you could see something inside. It was kind of like an interactive sweatshirt and sweatpants set. And then they also had one that was orange that said Boo on it with a ghost. So yeah, that's all I saw for clothes, but I'm sure they'll get more in. Saw some cute stuff. Anyways, we're here at the fancy HomeGoods. We're going in. All right, we just left the fancy HomeGoods. And I never thought I would say this in my entire life, but I'm feeling a little bit of Halloween overwhelm at HomeGoods right now. It is like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Is anyone else feeling like this? It's not an overwhelm in a way that's like, oh, I don't like anything. It's almost like I can't see anything. Like, there's so much happening that I can't even see it. Like, I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing everything and nothing at the same time. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this at HomeGoods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls kind of places. But it is just, whoa. I don't even know. The aisle, the Halloween aisle, like when I first walked in, we were good. It was all the big stuff. So they had like this big archway, this big cemetery archway thing. They had a really cool fortune teller looking booth thing. And this big skeleton guy. And then they had some other pieces, some larger pieces that were really cool. Some stacked pumpkins. And then they had this witch that was so cool looking. She was a witch, but had a shelf as her skirt. So like her skirt had this like, I don't know. It was awesome. I don't know if I've seen that in the flesh before. And then they had some skeleton skull guys, some tombstone looking dudes, that kind of stuff. Then I walked in and saw the whole aisle, and it was on another level of what am I looking at? They had this whole pink aisle that just had a bunch of pink and cutesy stuff with stacked books and ghosties and all the cutesy looking things that we've kind of seen some of this stuff, especially the ghosty kind of stuff. But they did have some newer stuff in this area too. And then they had just everything thrown on shelves. I mean, there was everything. I was trying to pick out some pieces I thought were kind of cool. They had this crow piece that was really pretty. It's like a crow on a pedestal. They had this branchy Martha Stewart goth piece that was really pretty, that had this branch that kind of came across, was huge. I couldn't really get a good visual. That's another thing. When everything is packed in like that, it's so hard to get a visual, and to reach in and grab it out is like a disaster waiting to happen. I just know I would break everything, or at least one thing, and I'd feel so bad about it. So anyways, I just leave it in its place and I try to get a visual. They also had a couple of candlestick holders that were really pretty. One had bats. Well, actually, no, yeah, one had bats. And the other one was a little candelabra that had a little spider web and spider in it. And then what else did I see? Oh, saw some black pumpkins that were pretty. And then I saw some classic Halloween stuff. They actually had one that had one of the vintage looking kids. You know, if you remember my rants about the vintage looking creepy kids, that I love those little vintage creepy kids. Several years back now, probably 2017, 2018, it was the year of the creepy kids. So we did get a creepy kid back this year on a moon, but they did have some good classic Halloween options. So I'll give it to them there. They had some new ceramic pieces I really liked. They had this canister that had skulls all the way around it. It was a great all year round dark decor piece. They also had a hot pink one with ghosties all over it. And also in this area had a combination of dark Halloween and cutesy Halloween. So they also had some cutesy stuff, little cauldron salt and pepper shakers, some oil slick skull salt and pepper shakers. And they have Hello Kitty. I think they had Hello Kitty in this area. They had some soap dispensers that were kind of cutesy and pink. One was a little house. One was a cauldron. And then they had the paper towel holders back this year. This store had all the different ones. They had the ghosty one. They had two ghosty ones, I think. A jack-o'-lantern one, and I want to say that's it. And then they also had some side of the road corn, everybody. Side of the road corn. We might need to stop on the way back. Anyways, they had the paper towel holders back. They also had some little coffin bakeware things. One of them was a pink coffin with a bat on it. And the other one was a coffin with a skull and an intricate gothic design. Really pretty. I'm looking for the larger one of these pieces. But I did see the smaller one. And they had a couple of new blankets we haven't seen yet. They had a blanket. They were cocktail blankets. That's what we were seeing today. One was a martini. It was ghost and martini and olives. Like little martini olives. And then the other one was just a spooky cocktail blanket, random spooky cocktails. Then they had, what was the other one that they had? Then they had, Spirit Halloween's in here? Like open Spirit Halloween? No. Or is it just a sign coming soon? Hold the phone, everybody. Anyways, what else did I see? A whole bunch of pillows. I just got a panning of the pillows because they're crammed in another area that's just so crammed that if you pull one single individual pillow out, they all come tumbling down. But they had a whole ghosty pillow section with all sorts of ghost stuff. They even had Zero in there from Nightmare Before Christmas. They had another fall looking pillow section that had more pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, fall. One had ghosties with fall floral all on it. They had jack-o'-lanterns. They had all the different kind of in-your-face Halloween vibes in the pillow section. And, oh no, opening soon. Spirit Halloween right here in your face. Dang. Oh, they also had something I wanted to mention. Speaking of vintage Halloween, they had a really cool vintage Halloween little party setup thing. They had a utensil holder. They had a big bucket for like drinks and stuff. And the print on it was black and white, and it looked like vintage Halloween. And then they also had a crystal, was it like a crystal candelabra with these skulls all over it, like on the candle area. Oh, it was good with dangly little dangles. Oh, speaking of dangling. Oh God, I forgot to mention it. And this Martha Stewart Halloween piece. I don't even know what I'm looking at. With the towel, like it was like a spa pumpkin. Pumpkin with like a face mask, cucumbers over the eyes, a towel in the hair, and not that even pumpkins have hair, but you know what I'm talking about. And then these dangly, I did not know what I was looking at, and I was like, oh, I think these are supposed to be legs and arms, but they looked like dangly pumpkin thing. I don't know what I was looking at, you guys. It was, every year there's a strange and unusual decor piece, and this is the one that got me. I was sitting there laughing, like, what am I looking at? Anyways, it was funny. So I saw that. But yeah, we're here at World Market. We're gonna go in. Hopefully they have the spooky goods. We've seen Halloween at every single place we've gone to today. It's amazing, and it's July, everybody. Here we are. Here we are at World Market. We're going in. All right, we just left World Market, and I am sweating. It is so bad, you guys. Should have brought a hair tie. It's getting too freaking hot. I'm gonna go home, and then we'll go out another day this week. But anyways, wanted to talk about World Market because I went in there, and the spooky display was displaying, y'all. It was so good. Have you guys seen World Market yet? Like, have you been in the flesh? And if you have, tell me your favorite piece in the comments, because they had a whole little gothic little thing going on that it was like the smallest part of the display, but I didn't even care because it was everything. They had this wine glass that was so good. It had this metal bat base or stem or whatever you want to call it with a whole, oh, I got some candy. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to try some candy really quick, but they had this back wine glass, and they had the small little glass. What do you call it? Rocks glass? Is that what it is? Or is it like a bourbon glass? I don't know what you call it. Anyways, it had the metal bats on it too. Anyways, I got some snacks while I was in there because I'm starving to death. So I got these sweet wild strawberry fish. They're like Swedish fish, but sweet wild strawberry. I don't know. These were $7 freaking or maybe $8 freaking. They were expensive. They're from the brand Bon Bon, a Swedish candy company. And I can't open this to sit. Oh wait, it is. There it is. No, this is ridiculous. Do people not eat Swedish fish in their cars in Sweden? Because how are you supposed, or do you keep scissors in your car? I don't understand. There's no way to open this. Oh, there we go. I stick my whole nail in there to make it happen. Okay, here we go. They're pretty much a Swedish fish, but and they had an interesting flavor, elderflower, but I wasn't going to risk it for $8. I feel like wild strawberries is safe when I'm drooling right now. They're good. It's really good. And it's got natural coloring in it too. Black carrot concentrate for color. Interesting. These are really good. They do taste more natural. They don't taste as artificial as the American ones. There's no weird plasticky aftertaste. It's really good. Dang, I could eat this whole freaking bag. Maybe I should go in and spend $30 on Swedish fish and get the other flavors. I think they had peach and was elderflower. I bet the elderflower is good, but I just wasn't for sure. But I'm curious. I have another one. What is this on there? What is that? I also got these chips. These Irish potato chips in our famous cheesy onion. This is going to give me the best breath ever. But you know what? We're done hunting for the day, so we can breathe on everybody. Oh, let me cleanse my palate. Oh, man. These are so good. If you've had these, whoa. Whoa, those are good. I also got, since we're talking about those wine glasses, they also had like a whole little setup with wines and like a champagne. I wanted the champagne, but this one, maybe I should have gotten both, but I really haven't been drinking, if we're being honest. I don't know, even if it sounds good with dinner, by the time dinner rolls around, Dawson and I are like, oh my gosh, like, we're just, like, we just don't even feel like it. So, but I bought this because I thought maybe we could drink this on Halloween. I got this Witch's Brew pumpkin spice apple wine. Sweet, tangy, traditional autumn spices. Apple, ginger, and clove, my favorite. What else are we talking about? There was that little area with the wines. And they had this little end cap right when I walked in. It's the first thing I saw that had these cute little houses, little spooky houses and little like sceneries. They were so cute. One was a little graveyard. One was it a witch house? And then one was, or was it a church? I can't remember. And then one was a mid-century modern looking house. So cute. Had a little Bride of Frankenstein looking gal in the front. So if you remember At Home a couple years ago, they had this little mid-century modern Halloween section. And it was such a cute little line. I loved that trend. Even though it wasn't my style, I didn't buy anything from it. I thought it was such a unique and just a really cool trend. And I'm sad that they didn't continue on with it the next year because I feel like there's so much you could do with it. They had some more wreaths in a different little end cap area. One was a crescent moon with, was it a crow? Then they also had a wreath that was more of a black branchy wreath. But yeah, they had some wreaths in this area. Then they also had, a bunch of glassware, some Halloween glassware that was really pretty. A lot of it looked like Pottery Barn glasses. They had ones with bats, ones with ghosts, ones with jack-o'-lanterns, and then I think they had a combo that had a bunch of like bats, jack-o'-lanterns, ghosts all around it. And then they also had a little glass bowl that had just pumpkins. I don't think they were jack-o'-lanterns, but pumpkins all around it. And then, oh no, why am I going this way? I didn't know. And then what else did they have? They had, a decanter that also had, I think this one had skulls. Also little cat head plates. And then they also had some, they weren't bedazzled, they were beaded. One said trick or treat and was a very active looking Halloween runner. They were both kind of classic Halloween style, but they were beaded table runners. Oh, they had some mugs. One was a ghosty, one was a bat. And then they also had a ghosty glass cup with the lid and the straw kind of situation. And they had another one that also had a ghost cat. It was like a glass cup that was a ghost cat. Then they also had some salt and pepper shakers. What else do they have? Oh, a ghost cat and a ghost dog. They had little ghost candle holders, little candlestick holders that were really cute. Those are really cute. And then another ghosty candle holder that had ghosts all around in a circle. Was there? Oh, they had some really cute ghost candles. Dang, I meant to get some of those. What was I thinking? Dang it. I went around and filmed first, and then I was going to go back around and get what I wanted, and then I got distracted by the candy, and now here I am. Dang it, I did get the wine glass, but I forgot the candles. I've seen some people make those. I guess we could try, but knowing my luck, it would not go well. Because I cannot DIY anything to save my life. But we might have to go back. They also had some pumpkins. They had some terracotta looking pumpkins. Some were more of this aged looking terracotta looking pumpkin, and then the other one was a classic terracotta looking pumpkin, more of that orange look. They had some yoga skeletons, or it was a skeleton fairy. They also had a toad, little toad guy, and a mummy pillow. They had, what else do they have in this area? And I know I'm missing a whole little section. And they had another little section that was kind of more of a witchy section. Had this branchy tree candelabra looking thing. And then another candelabra that just looked like a classic candelabra. Then they had this table, another beaded table runner. But this one had all sorts of different potions and all that kind of stuff on it. Witch's Brew. They also had a pillow that said Witch's Brew on it. A book that had some witch's potion kind of things on it. And what else? Pumpkins. They had all sorts of stuff like that. But this was kind of like a little witchy area. Then, what else am I missing? Oh, then they had they had some little spooky goblin looking things. They were these like the guys that like hang, you can hang them up. They had witches. They had jack-o'-lantern head guys. They had spooky doll looking ones. They had all sorts of different looking ghouls and goblins and witches and creepy looking doll kid things here in this area. And they had bats, like little bat decor. They had, oh man, they had so much Halloween, classic Halloween, witchy things, gothic things, and everything in between. They had glassware, like table setting ware kind of stuff, and all sorts of stuff. Hey everyone, it is another evening in 2025 paradise. We are officially in my favorite spot, about to do my favorite thing, which is online Halloween shopping. You know it is. I'm wrapping this video up, and I went out a second day this week, and I saw, honestly, not a whole lot. And so there wasn't a lot to really edit or post. I went to HomeGoods. We didn't see any new stuff, really. I mean, maybe like a couple of things, but nothing to write home about. And then I mainly went to Michael's to see if I could find the new Michael's line. And the store I went to 2 stores. The first one had a little bit. I'll show you what they had. They had a little bit that they were sprinkling out. They had like a picture of a crow, and I think a cat in a suit. And what else did I see? Oh, like a veiled lady, and a couple like stacked books, a couple of things out. Not a whole lot. They were just getting started. Then they also had a couple of like a skeleton sitting on a toilet little picture thing. So the toilets are back this year, everybody. And then a couple of skeleton things. Skeletons doing the most, I think, is what's going to be happening in this area. They had a coffin bookshelf that was also kind of a clock. And then they had some really, really pretty looking candles, but they had some really cool looking cathedral candles. They looked like cathedral windows or pillars or something, but they were really cool looking candles. They had the larger candles, and they had candlesticks that looked like cathedral situations or really intricate designs. And then they also had some other candles, like a little bird skull and bone candles and bleeding candles and a couple of LED candles. One looked like it was bleeding. So they did have some candles in this area. And the candlesticks were also similar in that they had some bones and ghosts and different candlesticks in this area too. So they had some really, really pretty candles, but they were just getting started in their Halloween line area. But really at HomeGoods, I didn't see anything that was that new or exciting. It was kind of the same stuff we had seen last week in general. So yeah, we'll be back out on the hunt though this week, looking at HomeGoods, Michael's. I'm hoping to see a full-blown Michael's. Ross, I checked in a couple Rosses, maybe saw a couple of towels, didn't see a whole lot. So we're gonna go back to Ross this week. There's more and more stuff coming out. But really the big day last week was Kirkland's, Burlington, Target. Where else did we go? HomeGoods, the fancy HomeGoods and the other HomeGoods, World Market. Those were the big stores that I hit last week. So this week though, I'm anticipating new Michael's. That's what I'm hoping to look for. So anyways, while we're here hanging out, I wanted to get on the interwebs and show you, okay, I mentioned in my Halloween haul, I went on a whole spiel about how I wasn't doing my witch theme this year. And I've also talked about doing my spooky town on my dining room table. So I wasn't going to do a dining room setting. Well, first of all, let me say this. Last year, when we went to the fancy stores to do some Halloween shopping at all the fancy places, we went to Williams-Sonoma, and they had the witch plates, the little witch plates that we got. They only had the little salad plates. I never saw the big dinner plates. Well, guess what? I got on Williams-Sonoma, and guess what they have? They have the big witch plates. In my mind, I'm like, oh man, wait, what's this? What are these? Wait, hold on. Let's screen record this really quick. I want to show you. What is this? This is a whole Halloween thing I haven't seen yet. What's this guy with the, what? I want to see this in the flesh. I hope they have a table setting of this in store, because this is really cool too. Okay, anyways, I didn't get those though. Those are really pretty. I can't wait to see them. So I saw the mug. This is the mug that goes with my plates. So these are the plates I got last year, if you remember, if you were here. If you're not, if you're new here, welcome to the spooky family. We're excited to have you. I got these witch plates last year, and they are so beautiful. The detail on the sides with the skulls and the flowers. Oh, it's so beautiful. But they have this. I don't remember if they had this last year. The dinner plates, and it looks like they have these black skulls that kind of stick out in little areas. So naturally, I don't know. I'm looking for more pieces that are going to last me many, many years. Ones that are, I mentioned this in my Halloween haul. I'm looking for higher quality pieces that I can have for all year round decor, or just ones that are going to last a very long time. So anyways, that's me validating this. Okay, everybody? But look at the napkins, the witch flying on a broom, the spooky house, crows, tombstones, like a whole cemetery situation, a scorpion. I don't know where that's coming from because I don't know anywhere that like has fall that also has scorpions, but whatever. I'm going to go with it. So then what else do they have? They have the tray. Look at this tray. It's beautiful. I love everything about this witch. I love the border of every single one of these plates. I love the whole dark, folky witch vibe. Love everything about it. They also have the table runner, but I don't know if I need a table. Wait, what are these? Spooky soiree stirring sticks. We're gonna have to go to the store, everyone. Oh man. Anyways, they have this bowl. Look at the bowl. Look at the detail on this bowl. Gorgeous detail. The skull. Oh my gosh, this bowl is so good. It's a large serving bowl. Man. Okay, so now, longest story longer. Naturally, guess what, everybody? I think what I'm going to do is early in the season, I'm going to do a full-blown witch table. It might be the first thing I decorate because I just want to do one. I want to do it just because I'm excited about this table setting. So I might do a witch table in August. And then in September, bust out my Spooky Town and take down the table and do Spooky Town. And then after Halloween, we're going to do our mystical, magical, ghoulish, garden-y looking pumpkin patch, harvesty, Thanksgiving meets fall table. So we're going to do that after Halloween. But I'm thinking before we get the Spooky Town set up, I'm thinking about doing a witchy, like a dark table, just to set it up and get out some of my witchy decor because I wasn't going to put it out this year. I was going to give it a rest because I really didn't have a theme for it this year. But now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should do a witch table and have that kind of be our first video for Halloween, but I'm not sure yet. It's going to be that in my kitchen maybe, I don't know. Or none of the above and we'll just do something else. I really want to do a witch table now that because I have to have these plates. Like I want to put them together and do the whole fancy thing and the napkins and the whole table setting. I want to do it so bad. And also, okay, let me show you these other things. But let's see if there's anything new on Williams-Sonoma while we're sitting here. Let's see. I'm seeing, they have the glasses that go. They have like the full new set. This new Haunted Hosts. That's what they're calling that line. Haunted Hosts. And I like it. It's pretty cool, but not as much as the witch stuff. The witch stuff is just, it's a good all year round, dark, witchy situation. Oh yeah, here's the spooky soiree. You know what's weird about the spooky soiree? I don't really feel like the spider, the snake, the scorpion, and the crow, I don't feel like these plates really go that well with the whole line, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, some ghosty coasters and salt and pepper shakers. They had this guy last year. It was really pretty. The cheese board. I also got this guy, the witch mug. I do have some new Halloween stuff. Just scrolling through, seeing some of the new stuff. See, these are the other ones. These little bug guys. But man, that witch line is what gets me. I also wanted to show you these witches on Pottery Barn. These have been all the rage. And so far, I'm not seeing anything new. They have the flameless ghost candles back. Okay, where are these witches? There are these witch candle holders. And I'm not going to lie, I already bought... Okay, I bought two. I bought one of each, and they sent me the wrong one. And then the other one was on back order, but they sent it. It's on its way, and I think I'm going to get two of the same one. So, pardon me. See, I like these. I wonder what these look like in person, because these kind of look... Like, I like this eerie, folky vibe to any sort of dark decor. And it's just so interesting. I love these candles. Candle pot. Anyways, these candlestick holders. These witch candlestick holders. They sent me... At least that's what they're showing in the picture that I got on my order that got shipped. It's the one I already have. So, I'm not going to get both... Like, I got one of each. And they're sending two of the same. So I don't know whether or not to return it or keep both of the witches because I'm not seeing them on here. And I know they were back ordered. Anyways, I'll show you the one I have. So here's the candlestick holder I got from Pottery Barn. This thing, it's not even on the website anymore. I can't find it. I think they might be sold out at this point or back ordered or I don't know what's going on. But she's beautiful. This is metal and it's got a nice slim profile. this is the thing about Pottery Barn is they definitely pull your pants down. Okay, everybody, it's so freaking expensive. But the one thing about Pottery Barn is they never disappoint on the quality. Well, I'm lying. Somebody did say they put the stickers on the eyeballs of those ghost candles, so maybe those aren't the best quality. I don't know, but everything I've purchased from Pottery Barn has been incredible quality. I mean, this is on another level. It's beautiful. So I'm really excited to add yet another theme. We're like doing 2 dining room tables this year. Like, I'm so excited to be going all out this year. Anyways, I gotta hop off here because I'm gonna add this to the end of the video because my whole plan was to have a whole second day of Halloween decor hunting, but really we didn't see anything. We saw like a half of a shelf at Michael's of some of their new stuff, and that's pretty much it. And the same old at HomeGoods. So, because I feel like at this point with HomeGoods, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, you kind of see the weekly stuff show up. I mean, they put new stuff out every day, but it usually looks like the same kind of stuff circulating throughout the week. And then the next week you start seeing some new things circulating, just depending on what store you go to. But it looks like it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of what it was. I didn't see a whole lot of new stuff. Everything we saw was kind of what we saw that first day we went Halloween hunting. We saw all the spooky goods all loaded up. I saw a lot of duplicates at the other stores I went to on Friday. So really, we saw a whole bunch of Halloween on Wednesday, and then Friday, a whole lot of just a half of a shelf. Anyways, I wanted to do a proper send-off, though, because that first day I was planning on adding more days to that. So I wanted to hop on here, do a proper send-off, and also talk about my change of plans with the witch table. Since in my Halloween haul, I mentioned that I'm not doing my witch theme. Was that my Halloween haul? I don't remember what. I think it was. I'm not doing my witch theme, and I'm not doing my, I said I wasn't doing my dining room table, like a setting. I was just going to do Spooky Town. Well, all that's changed. We're doing a witch table and Spooky Town. I'm so excited. Anyway, I want to do a proper send-off because I'm going to finish editing this video, get this posted, and then we've got a whole new week Halloween decor hunting here coming up. We got places to go Halloween to see, and a lot of places are starting to put out Halloween. That's what we're going to be doing this week. And I have a couple other videos planned this week, so I'm hoping to do more spooky content here coming up. So stay tuned if you're loving the spooky season. Anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out here. I just hit my elbow on the table. No big deal. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me and good old Mr. Skeleton doing some Halloween hunting, doing some on the interwebs hunting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say hey ghoul hey down in the comments because you know I love talking to you. And anything else you want to chit chat about, anything we talked about in this video. And yeah, let me know down in the comments if you got anything this week. Did you see anything on the hunt that you've been looking for? Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.